You can access the entire episode now on our website, forbiddenknowledge.news, Rokfin, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. But it does seem like there's an apocalyptic playbook that is being put forward as, hey, this is going to happen, and it's based off of biblical prophecy, and this is happening now, and it's trying to put in the mass consciousness. I believe it's a part of a fear factor, it's part of a programming thing, so that we, in a way, manifest this Armageddon or this apocalyptic outcome that they're hoping to put forward, right?
Yeah. What is it? They're talking about zombies for so long. It's definitely spooky. Whatever.
Well, it seems like whatever they're trying, it's like failing miserably right now. It seems like nobody is latching on to the power plays and the fear events and the false flags that are being pumped out one after the other. It seems like they're just throwing everything out there to see what sticks right now. And I'm hopeful. People, to me, seems like a lot of people are coming around and just not participating with the bullshit.
Oh, that's good that you're hopeful. It's all about having hope. I'm very my hope is it's very jaded, like you were saying, for society and humanity. But that doesn't mean I don't have hope for. Hope is the best thing. Even in that movie Hunger Games, there's that line about hope. How he's all like, "Yo, you can't have them have hope because that's like." So it's important to have hope for sure. So that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Do you think all these celebrities that are being outed right now were always there so that they could be a sacrificial lamb at some point, and they were just being used as puppets to just gain more power and control for those above them, the ones we don't know their names?
It's all about the people we don't know their names. Like, we get told all these names, but we don't know who are the people that hired these people. We're not going to know their names for sure. Maybe we could. There's some people that have connected some, lineages going back to the Hammurabi Code and whatnot. But I haven't really dived down that too much. But the symbolism's crazy in these films. So this new Civil War movie, the cover of it is this guy with crazy hair, holding a boom, bam, bam. And his nail polish is blue and pink. And this was during the UFC fight 300. This is how I think the whole simulacrum works, is that they push everything at once instead of one radio show. Back in the day, we had one radio show or 3 channels or a couple newspapers. And those couple newspapers, the news channel, these 3 devices would tell us everything to believe. And everyone believed it. Now we got to have it hit on so many different levels because there's so many podcasts, so many shows, so many things. So the programming goes even on our food products like Mountain Dew and Monster Energy drink. So the new Monster Energy drink at the UFC is this pink and blue colors, which are cool colors. I got artists be doing cool, my artists, we all about cool colors and stuff. And I'm Doenut, and that's the color of a donut. So now I'm oh, dang it. Because the symbology goes so deep. But the way the simulacrum works is that they hit us on so many different levels through these different color codings or symbols. And this UFC fight 300, it was UFC 300, which was interesting because it was going on during the World War III stuff happening over the weekend. And I think Iran launched 300 missiles during the UFC 300. And then there's that movie 300, which kind of has the same vibe, I think, of this small country, which would be like Israel, like Sparta 300 versus this big empire. So I feel like that was all kind of in the simulation. And during that program, there was a national emergency test alert, not in America, but in the Middle East. So you'd have to be in the Middle East to even see that. So this new South Korean film, I'm jumping all over the place, but this new South Korean film that's coming out on the 26th, Goodbye Earth, it starts off the trailer with this emergency text alert. It's all like this emergency text alert is super important. And Joe Biden, he sent one out at 2:18, right? And this is, I believe, telling the elite something. So when Hawaii sent out their text alert at 8:08 a.m. about 3 years ago, well, 3 years later or so, on 8:08, in the 8:08 area code, Lahaina went up into flames, and they had an emergency alert. But they couldn't get the alerts out because I guess they shut off the internet. But Joe Biden sending this alert at 2:18, it's a date I'm looking out for, 2:18, which could be read in so many different ways.
It seems like there's layers to this symbolism and synchromysticism as it appears to us. There seems to be a layer that is controlled completely, that higher levels are completely aware of, that they're putting these symbols in for this reason, a signal to something or someone or some event. And then there's another layer, I believe, that no one controls. Maybe it's this etheric energy that, or imaginative plane, that people working on projects or producing movies will have the idea to put this in there, and it's something prophetic, but it just connects to this maybe energetic information, this energy field or information field that surrounds us at all times, that is plugging in, or people are latching onto it somehow and bringing forward that information into different films, and even maybe Masonic construction and premonitions and things of that nature. But I think that there's many levels to it. There's the layers that are people aware of, and then there's something else happening.
Yeah, I'm going back to the 90s, watching the music videos of the 90s, like Black Hole Sun and all the Sampaku eyes and the demon faces. Tupac is trending right now. And if you look at the cover of Tupac's albums, or a lot of his photos, he has the lower underneath Sampaku eyes. And this is how I was able to accurately predict the UFC fight of who was going to win or lose, through the poster of the symbology of the eyeballs, of the three whites underneath the eye, which means that it's stress, danger might be coming their way. That doesn't mean that if you have them that you're screwed, but it's symbolism, I believe. And in the 90s, the Sampaku eyes, which are the three whites, that's what Sampaku means. It's like when you're going crazy and your eyes are up like that and you could just see the three whites at the top. That's what Sampaku means. And in the 90s, they had the more psychopathic Sampaku eyes of somebody like going crazy, but it's in all the music videos and it's like all over the place. And a lot of these artists who have a demise, or a boxer or a fighter with a demise, has them underneath. So I'm looking out for this, because today, is Selena's birthday. Rest in peace, Selena, which means the moon. And they just released her album, The Moon Child, which goes into Aleister Crowley's Moon Child. And she died on a new moon. And astrologically, that's when you plant the seed, in a sense, the new moon. And then the full moon is when it comes to fruition. And that was an eclipse the day after she died. And there's this eclipse ritual with a lot of people. I've got the pattern recognition of it all. I hope I'm not vomiting so much. I'm just hungry with this buffet.
That's all good. There was a lot of symbolism leading up to the